So this question mentions a scatter graph, and it's talking about describing the relationship between the length and the width of the pine cone. So we have to think about, as the length is increasing, the width is also increasing. So we can see that it's going to be a positive correlation. So we have the idea that for scatter graphs we have relationships that tend to go up. As one increases, the other increases the variables. So that's known as positive correlation. And if we have the relationship going in the opposite direction, then that's known as negative correlation. And if we have a graph where the data just seems to be all over the place, then that's got no correlation or zero correlation. So we have to talk about the relationship in terms of correlation, or we can talk about it in terms of what's happening as the length. So I'd cover myself basically by saying as the length of the cone increases, so does the width of the cone, and then positive correlation. If you always combine the words positive correlation or negative correlation, depends on the graph, plus describing what's actually happening, then you're covered for the mark. So we can see here as the length increases, the width increases. It then talks about another pine cone, and it says another pine cone had a length of 8.4, estimate the width. Well, you should always draw a line of best fit on your graphs, your scatter graphs, to allow you to make the best fit. And you tend to look at the pattern and try and get a similar number of crosses above your line of best fit and a similar number below. Draw the line of best fit across the whole graph, and then we find 8.4, being really careful to read the scale of the graph carefully. So 8.4, so that's the length, and then we come across and we read off, and to read off I'd always come slightly across and then you can see what you're doing then. So 6.1, 6.2, so we'd estimate it would be 6.2 centimetres. So always draw your lines of best fit, and that then allows you to make your best estimate. And the examiners have got to follow through the line you use. As long as your line of best fit generally fits the data, then you can also get a follow through mark if it wasn't quite what the examiners were looking for, because you're showing a correct method. So it's important that you add these lines of best fit on to your scatter graphs.